Yo, yo. Let me make sure that this is going smoothly. Yo, 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 yo. Hold up. I didn't know. Was it always not? Nah, it was getting game audio. I'm kind of confused on that. Oh, that's why. Hold up. That's my fault. That's my fault. Let me let me take this out of my PlayStation. I was playing with some friends on Fortnite. Let me. There we go. And I gotta. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, now I was confused. All right. I'm like, why am I not getting any audio? But that's why. All right. I never played this game before, but we're gonna start it off. Screen and subtitle language. Let's go with English. I'll go with no subtitles, but it may be helpful. No, I have not played the Stanley Parable before. I've seen it on YouTube, but I don't know if it was this version or not. Enter the current time. Oh, this is about to be trippy. I'm gonna wait 1 minute just so I can get to 6:09. There we go. 6:09 a.m. All right. All right. I'm not gonna try to talk through the important stuff or the entertaining stuff, but I'm gonna talk a little bit. I'm not the most talkative person, but we're gonna try. We're gonna get through this. I'm probably gonna get trolled a lot trying to play this. I'm not gonna lie, but there we go.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh shit, I'm supposed to move right here. Oh, okay. Actually, I never played this game before, but I saw it on YouTube. Way back, like when it first came out. Okay, so what happens if I just sit here? Is something gonna happen if I just sit here? What's up, Rio? Make it. I gotta see how I'm able to do that because I don't get a lot of options with TikTok through Streamlabs. Like, I might have to go through the website and see if there's anything I could do. But there's not really anything I could do right here. Okay, so does nothing happen if okay. I guess nothing happens if I don't listen to him. I'm probably gonna look that up after the stream, see if there is. Maybe I can make somebody a mod.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So if I go back, is it gonna... I remember this game, like, this is a whole bunch of different...
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay. I remember this game picking up all you. Trying to get the bots up out of here, I already know. Can I zoom? I got to crouch. Okay, I guess I gotta go. Or can I? I can't open up any of these doors. Okay. I don't even know where the bots came from, to be honest. What if I go back? I'm waiting for the endless possibilities to begin at this point. Okay, maybe I don't... Let's do this door. How far do I gotta go?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So should I go in the door on the right? Just not listen? Or should I go... But I can't go back, I guess. You know what? That one closed. I can't go back. Alright.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I am going to walk downstairs.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
I swear if I wake
I'm
up at the
through
start,
with
I'm
this
going to be
dream.
mad.
I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
All this because I decided to go down some stairs, you know.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people...
Mind you, all of this because I
would
decided to
affect
go
her
down
career,
some stairs.
and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this. So it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Are you serious? Bruh.
All of his
Alright.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm skipping through all this.
When Stanley came
I'm not
to a
going
set
to the
of
right
two
door
open
either.
doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes,
This is
truly
an empty
a room
lounge.
worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Should I? Should I?
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Okay, I'll go your way.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Okay. Okay.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it.
Wait, Rio, how's the stream quality? It's not like dropping frames or anything, right? Because I changed one tiny little setting, and I'm checking like the performance board. My CPU is being used up like crazy because of that setting, but it's still running the stream pretty good, so I'm not sure. It looks like it's good right now. I don't know.
This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
This garage door better not close on me. I kid you not, this better not close on me. Okay. And to the right.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
Oh, wow.
And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Can I go over these? Let's go this way, to the far right. Oh, Lord, this is a... Oh. Okay. Let's go this way.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
No.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Come on. Dominate with 8,100, 1,500 coins now. I don't want coins. Stop. I gotta get these bots out of here.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Go back and see if we missed anything. Okay. I hit people with that collect bait. Collect bait. Okay.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Is it
No,
going?
wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Minor issues. That's not what I need. Oh, wow.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this?
I know, I gotta block them.
You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Okay, we're starting again for like the fourth. Really? I'm not dumb.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
I got two-factor on this thing. I'm not getting no. Not getting that. Okay, this is not the right place, but you know, yeah, this is the direction you're pointing me in, Stan. I'm Stanley, right? Yeah, no, I'm Stanley. I'm going in the direction that he's taking me in. Okay, yeah. The narrator. All right,
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm
we
trying
can
to stick
both
with you,
agree
but
that the
this
nature
is
of
implying
existence
that I
is, in
got a
fact,
wall
a
run.
byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
God damn, it's loud. Jeez. Okay. Okay. Now following your line. How? This is chaotic. Stanley Parable. I didn't know you was in here. Hey, put the music
Cut the
on.
music. Go back and look at that fern.
Man. There. What you want to do with the fern?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. Educated young
what?
man.
We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
I'm just gonna follow the line. Because the line don't... Border Lex, what you talking about? Oh, the border Lexus. Oh, we're back in this room. I know he doesn't want me to go in here. So you know what? We're gonna backtrack. We're gonna backtrack. We're gonna go this way. Let's see if he says anything. You gonna say anything? No, he's not. So I guess I gotta go in that room. I go in that room, he's gonna restart the game again though.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Yeah, pretty much in the loop.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
What direction? Oh, this direction. Don't follow the line. I mean, well, there's no line to follow anymore, I guess. I don't think this game is ever going to end, though.
Yes, this is
Well,
exciting. Just
technically,
me and
there probably
Stanley
is an
forging
ending.
a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Titties.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rings. Just don't acknowledge it.
Oh, my. That's funny. That's funny.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to
Real, you
think
should
here.
not be
Just walk in
expecting
circles
anything
for a minute.
less.
Okay.
Walk in a circle.
So
No.
I know that each door has to lead somewhere.
I'm walking in a
which means
circle
that
for you.
somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Now I'll walk in the circle. It didn't go in there. I'm just trying to get any...
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now,
I guess we're
according
right
to
here
the
in the middle
schedule,
right
I
now.
restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination, so I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Man, they forced a restart. That's crazy. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
He actually
Stanley
did
decided
forget.
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna follow his directions this time, only to see if there's gonna be a difference.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Downstairs is pretty tempting, but I'll do it. I'll go up. I still have a choice. I kind of want to go downstairs. I still have a choice. Fuck it. We stay here. We're here. No, what's this room? Just for another restart is definitely crazy. Okay. I can't go back from here, can I? Can I? How much? Okay. I can't go back from here. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, Unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He
Sheer luck is
stepped into the
insane.
newly opened passageway. Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh, damn.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
You know, does anybody here actually have an office job? I don't have an office job, but I do work in a photography studio. You know, should I actually let him get this ending or the story that he wants, and then, you know, not go through the escape? You know, I'm kind of feeling, you know, pretty escapish into an offer. You know, I was like that for a minute. I was like that for a minute because I used to work in a nice warehouse. I'm not going to say anything specifically, but they want to get out of there. For me, it is probably the complete opposite of it. It is definitely pretty chill. It's a studio that rents out to other creatives or anybody that just wants to book a studio. So I pretty much just manage the space while people are booked up there. It's pretty chill. Pretty chill. Now, would I go for another office type environment? Possibly. Would I go for another warehouse environment? I don't know. I feel like warehouse environments are tiring, and I would not be streaming right now. It depends. It depends. It depends on a few things. Mine's is kind of tied into my photography, so it's like I work there, but I also shoot there, and then I don't know. It really does depend. It depends on add-ons that people may get, I believe. Nah, for like a year. For like a year, that's about it. I feel like this is the bottom of that room. I feel like this is the bottom of that room.
The lights rose on an
But no, I went to school for like a
enormous room
year.
packed with television screens.
I'm
What
not going.
horrible secret did this place hold?
It was a 4-year college.
Did he have the strength
A lot of
to
things.
find
It was
out?
like right before COVID, but a lot of things happened that prevented me from continuing with school even after COVID. So I just never returned back to it. This is that watch room.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I would say college. I don't think the school was a university. College. College. Honestly, I don't know what kind of warehouse work that you do, but I'm assuming you probably want to get out of it because it's probably taking up a lot of time, and you probably don't really, like, that's my assumption. That's what I hear from most people that say they work in a warehouse, is that you don't really get a lot of time to do other things because you're always working there. And in my experience, warehouse scheduling can kind of be, if they need you for this amount of time, they need you for this amount of time. Because some of them have like a mandatory overtime, and that is not it. Kid you not, that's not it. Can't do it.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
You know, in all, like, this is just me. If I have a boring job, and this is just in general speaking, it's not saying the job that I have is boring, or whatever I do right now is boring. But if I were to have a job that is boring, even by myself or other people view it as boring, as long as I get paid well enough to do what I need to do, go home and have fun afterwards, I'm okay with it. I am okay with it. All I gotta do is survive through the workday. Relax and do paperwork and type on the computer. I mean, well, I don't do all that. I would like to try to do all that, but I feel like, okay, one thing about me, I fall asleep pretty easily. There's been a few times where I've fallen asleep while playing the game on stream. But I feel like it's just because once I get bored or once I'm doing something, I kind of zone out, and then boom, I wouldn't even say the word bored. I feel like I lose attention to whatever I'm doing, or if it's something that I have to pay very long amounts of attention to, I get pretty bored. I still feel like that's a bad explanation of how I'm trying to like word it. I feel like I would fall asleep in an office job because I'm not moving physically. I'm on the computer. Like, I'm in a position to not really use any energy, and I don't know, it's hard to explain. I know I would fall asleep. I know that because there's been jobs to where you have to do the orientation computer training, and those things take hours, and I'm over here just sleeping because I done got bored on like the first 5 panels, and then I just take a nap. Unintentionally, by the way. Unintentionally taking a nap. It's the money you don't care about. Boring, probably. You know, that's kind of funny that you did say that, because I've wanted to get a work-at-home job for the longest, but I was just never able to. And I don't know if it's something that I would want to do anymore. Like, I would still like to try it, but I feel like I'm going to... I like being inside. What the hell are we playing? We're playing the Stanley Parable. The Ultra Deluxe Edition, the Stanley Parable. But no, I would like to try to work from home, but I feel like I'm going to grow tired of it pretty quickly. I don't go outside much unless I have a reason, a specific reason to. Granted, that's acceptable, but me being a creative, I need to be out and see the world. I feel like working from home would cancel out a lot of opportunities to be out and view things or possibly even make friends. And like I'm a photographer, like outside of everything that I do photography. So is he? Oh, he's not even here. That's crazy. I want her talking my head off and the band left. No. God damn. But either way, I feel like working from home might not be sustainable enough for me. At least for, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now. I can't think of it. There's a specific word that I'm trying to think of that I feel like working from home would not stimulate me enough. That's the word I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Actually, that's been the word I've been looking for to explain a lot of things. Profitable? It definitely is.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't
Because it could sustain.
his own
I feel like I wouldn't be
in someone
stimulated
else's
from
control.
it.
Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
You know, I've heard that many times. And I hear it about anything, you know, and okay. Me personally, that saying holds me back. Because I'm a very technical person. I feel like me being very technical is taking the fun out of a lot of things, but that's probably what makes it fun to me, because I don't know, I feel like I'm a perfectionist in some things. Probably more than some things. Oh, that is dropping some frames. I don't know, what's your opinion on that? Because I feel like it can go multiple ways. What's this big red button do? He played the band his whole life. He said it was no longer fun. Okay. I can see that. I can see that. There's multiple things that could lead into that. You bought a Rust server and haven't touched it again since. Ooh. I want to say it depends on your experience with things, but in most cases, there's too many things that lead up to it not being fun. Not gonna lie. I understand both sides of this. I probably just haven't reached that point yet. I probably wouldn't realize it until I reached that point. You know, this is actually a good game to have a discussion with. What the heck? This kind of all just fell into balance, like, randomly. I don't even know. This game started the conversation for me. Alright, let's Mind control, idle, awaiting input. Also, thank you guys for the likes. I definitely appreciate it.
He found the source of the room's power. He knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted?
Yes.
Control?
Yes. I want to control.
Oh, Stanley.
I want to control.
I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
Yeah, this is my first playthrough. I've seen it on YouTube before.
For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent. Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex.
Wow.
How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Okay, no, fuck, I gotta run. I'm trying to turn off the machine. I'm the star, fuck you.
Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind.
So how do I get up out of here?
We have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is.
Is there a way to turn this off?
More time to talk about you.
I'm clicking everything. I'm clicking everything.
Where we're going.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
This means I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
Is there any way to turn
this version of events has been rather amusing.
This off?
Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control.
Let me push these numbers in order
from you. It's quite rich.
I'm not gonna. You know what? 052. Oh,
come up with
no, dog. There's too many numbers. Okay.
Will be even better. My goodness,
Hey.
only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
Oh, wow.
These are precious
Okay.
additional seconds,
Okay.
Stanley.
Okay.
Time doesn't grow on trees.
I can walk down it. Okay.
Oh dear me, what's the
I'm
matter,
trying to
Stanley?
get a list of the numbers.
Is it that you have
5.
no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
I don't know what I'm
Did you
doing.
just assume when you saw that timer that something in this
3.
room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen.
That's
clicking
crazy.
on every little thing in this room.
1,
These
2,
numbered
that one's
buttons.
3,
No,
that one's
these
5.
colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me.
I'm so
Why would you think that,
confused.
Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won, sold?
I'm trying to think of something.
Any
I'm
idea
I'm
what your
failing
purpose
right
in
now,
this
but 3 attempts.
Stanley,
Never
you're
got
in
the
for
power
quite
to
a
activate.
disappointment.
Oh.
But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching.
Okay, that
the
goes
cutscene
right
because
there.
I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy
Everything
it
says 5.
first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until
I didn't even notice there was one up here.
Happily ever up.
You know what? Yeah, I was too late. Why didn't I look up there? I don't know. I don't know why I didn't look up there. Back at the big. Oh Lord. Okay. Well, that was certainly an ending. Or did I just restart?
Were gone.
Nope, I just restarted.
Stanley decided to go to the
But I
meeting
restarted
room.
in the right
Perhaps
way.
he had simply missed a memo.
I guess it's a full restart. Is it a full restart? Is it going to be anything at the?
When Stanley came to a set of two open
I'm not gonna let you talk.
This was not the correct
I'm not
way
gonna let
to
you
the
talk.
meeting room, and
I'm not gonna let you
Stanley
talk.
knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I'm going this way.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh, you know, I can feel the insult through the screen right now. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy to say. Not kind of crazy. That is crazy to say. Imagine somebody saying that to you in real life. Thank you for the roses.
Perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
You know, I'm single in real life. I don't even know who you're talking about, so I don't make the decision for me, you know. Oh, shoot.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this.
Well?
To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Awkward phone call. The hell?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
You know, I didn't think anything like that because, yeah, you know, I'm not going to dig down that path, but, you know, yeah, you know, that's kind of messed up, my guy. It's kind of messed up. Styrofoam.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
That's crazy. That is terrible. What if I don't push this button? What if I push up? Is nothing gonna happen? Okay, I'm pushing every other button. Do I have to push this specific, very specific button? I'm assuming that I do. Okay.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button.
Every time I push a button, it just leads to another roast.
Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
If you've played this game before, There's something gonna happen if I don't eventually end up pressing circle. Because I don't, if I wasn't streaming, I wouldn't press it. But I gotta stay on this. This is a little bit too long for nothing to happen. A little bit too long. Okay, well, only because I'm streaming.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned
There's
to
an
work
achievement
was a reminder that none of it would ever happen
of not
to him.
touching it for 10 years. It's the longest achievement. 10 years. Good Lord. Good Lord. That. Okay. That is crazy. That's not even something I would try to go for. They made this game with some really good thought. Like, do you have to leave your PlayStation on for that amount of time, or like, it's the one game that's not platinum in most people's ability. I can see why. Oh man, that's dedication. Like, do you literally have to leave your PlayStation on for this, or do you just like come back to it later? I don't know. Like, that's. No, you just can't play the game. Okay. 14 real life. Okay, you know what? Before the stream ends, here's what I'm gonna do. If I get to an actual ending, I don't know if I will. I'm actually no, because I might have to come back to the game. You know what? I'm not even gonna try to get that. It's gonna have to be not platinum. Because I might come back to this. So remember, you set the clock in the beginning of the. Oh, I knew it was for something. Okay, thanks for letting me know that. I did not know that.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Spend time with the boy. Okay. I have a feeling that there's even an alternate path that if you try to delete the game and delete your data, that when you try to start it back up, it's going to remember that. Like, I don't know. Do they go that far into the thinking process of this game? I'm not even sure. So that'd be pretty cool,
he went
though.
Further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Prepare dinner. All right.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's
It's gonna make me restart this. Like, come on. Like, it's putting me back in the office. It's gonna make me restart again.
The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
Go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world, he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Oh, but you had. Oh my God. You know, that makes that 10-year achievement. It makes you want to do it, but I don't have the time to do it. I don't have the time to do it. It may not. You know what? I gotta push it. They want me to go, they want me to do it. They want me to do it. Like, they really want me to do it. They keep telling me not to do it. They want me to try to go for that 10-year achievement. I'm not gonna do it. I can't do it. If I could speed up the time, I would. But I can't. I simply can't. I gotta push the button.
You see? Can he just not hear me?
No, I
How
can't
can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Question nothing. Yeah, I'm right back in the start room.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
It's super go outside.
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And
No,
Stanley
go
pushed
outside
a button.
achievement is kind of crazy.
tried-
Go. Oh shoot! What the hell? I didn't even push anything. Restarting the game again. I see. Oh, back at square one. Or square three. Or I don't know how many times I've restarted. I've lost track. Nobody's talking. Nobody's talking this time. I passed a... Oh, hold up. Was this one? Or was it...
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Is that going to have any crazy significance later on? Possibly. I wouldn't be sure. Have I always passed that phone? I know he didn't talk this time, like once I entered, but have I always passed that phone? Was that phone always ringing? I'm not sure. 3,000 likes. Let's go. Let's go.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know, just because they kept telling me to push all those buttons, I'm not gonna listen to you again. This is my only way of retaliation, okay? This is my only way I get to retaliate against this speaker, this narrator, okay? Fuck that door.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, just to skip that ending, because I'm not doing it. Does it change if I go back at it? It should change. Ooh, my curiosity. Should I give in to my curiosity? You know, why not? Why not? Why not? Yep.
Stanley
Okay,
was
that's
so
all I need to
bad
know.
at
I needed an
following
answer. That's all I
directions,
needed.
It's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Shut up. I'm following my own
Look,
directions.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy.
Everything
really,
gets a
I'm
change.
not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact
I'm gonna
is
go
that
this
the
way, but I want to
story
see the
has been
change
about
in this
nothing
too.
But you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
When I come back here, I'll go
Stop
that way.
trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for her.
Let's
This
go.
is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
No, you can't tell with the change. I gotta figure it out. Let me go ahead and open up this door.
Oh, Stanley, is that you?
Yeah, it's me.
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
No, what you
there
mean?
we
What you
go.
mean?
All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all
You
about
can't know the change for this specific moment, though.
Gotcha. Oh, come on.
Unless
Did
I'm
you
just gonna
actually
go right
think you
back to
had
the
a
same
loving
thing I already
life?
went right
They
through.
want to commit their
Like-
life to you. I'm trying to make
I
a
don't know.
point here, Stanley.
I'm hoping that
Trying to
there's
get
a
you to see
specific, like a
something.
noticeable
Come
difference
inside.
in this.
Let me show you what's really going on here.
Or do I just restart again? All right,
This is a very
Come
sad
on.
story about the death of a man.
let's
named
keep pushing these
Stanley.
buttons. Yep.
Stanley is
Let's
quite
keep
a
pushing these
boring
buttons.
fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work.
I think I just looped
One might
myself
even feel sorry for
in
him,
another loop.
except that
That's
he's chosen
in a
this life.
never-ending spot of loops.
But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
I feel like that's what I just
From behind
did.
his desk, Stanley dreamed
I'm not
of wild
noticing anything
expeditions into
different.
the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
If you take the same path, you do loop, but there's always a right and left to everything. So I should have dropped down when I had the chance to.
And so he began
I was
to
thinking about it.
fantasize
Okay,
about
that
his
makes
own
sense.
job.
That makes
First, he
sense.
imagined that one day,
I was thinking that, like, if you keep looping, it's gonna do something different, but I guess not.
His boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again,
Yes
and
and no.
again,
The
over
choice
and
is
over, wishing beyond hope
important,
that
like
it
the
would
phone.
never end.
Wait,
that
so
he
I have
would
a choice to
always
not
feel
answer the
this
phone.
free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But
If I
there
play
is
it one
no
more
answer.
time, yeah,
How
I'm
could
gonna play
there
one more
possibly
time.
be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Yeah, the more
And
the more
I'm trying
time I
to
spend
tell
here, the
you
more
that
invested
in
I
this
do
world,
get.
he can
Okay,
never be anything but an
that's what it
observer.
is.
That as
I'm
long
just
as
gonna
he
be
remains
invested.
here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Now, what phone are you talking? That's a good question because there's two phones that I clicked on. Oh man. Okay.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself?
I think you're talking about
How
the
can I
phone in the
get him to see
beginning.
what I see?
That's
How
what I
can
think you're
make him
talking
look at
about.
himself?
Question,
I
nothing.
can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley.
Excuse me.
We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried. All of his co-workers were gone.
You talked this
What could
time.
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's not. Yeah, no, that's different.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't
I
find
knew
a
it wasn't
trace
ringing
of
the
his
first time.
co-workers.
Like it might. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Nothing's changed in here. Nothing's different in here. Okay. Back in this
When
room.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
I'm
he entered
going
the
to
door on his
go
left.
to the left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I've been here before. I'm gonna go downstairs again. Nah. I didn't really like the way the downstairs part went. I'm going to stay up here. It's not that I didn't like the way that it went. It just, I don't know. It felt a little. It felt like an easy reset. Like it didn't give
Stepping
me
into his
anything.
manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
That's crazy.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward. into the opened passageway.
Wow. He felt insulted right there. Like, damn, I didn't get a chance to speak. Alright.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I'm going this way this time.
Although this passageway had the word Escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Nope, I won't be.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Can I go, like, am I able to go backtrack? I'm probably still gonna go down that wall. Wait, hold up. Am I able to backtrack? I'm able to backtrack. Okay. What difference?
Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Okay. How many times are you gonna let me go back and forth? How many times are you gonna let me go back and forth? Still saying my stream quality is good. My bad, I'm checking this really quick. Okay. Am I able to go back down? No?
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Is there another number that I can enter in here, or no? Is there? Ooh. Okay, you know what? This is just gonna be a random number. I guess there isn't one. I have a feeling that there is one. Alright, gotta go back down. Back down we go.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen,
The game has been
how does he keep
upgraded.
coming up with
The
all
original
of
is one
this?
playing that. This is the Ultra Deluxe. Like, I got it for free on
Surely this
PlayStation.
time Stanley will walk forward into
But
the
what
spooky
upgraded
corridor,
version
won't he?
are you talking about? Because I'll be interested in playing that. I will be interested in playing that. Still only part 1 that I'm playing. Ooh. Is part 2 on PlayStation?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yeah, is part 2 on PlayStation?
Although this
Okay,
passageway
remastered
had the
version.
word escape written
That's
on it,
fair.
the truth
That's
was
fair.
that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
I'm going to take the bait. I'm going to take the chance and walk down
The
this
door
long...
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
What kind of violence are we talking about?
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Here we go.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Everywhere leads back to this room.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would
No.
restart the game, back
Oh,
in
wow,
his
I can't go
office,
back.
as alive as ever.
Oh,
What
wow.
exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
This is a museum. It is. From what I've seen, the Ultra Deluxe is it. There's no part 2, but if you complete the game in half, you probably send another part of that text. Or am I... Filing cabinets. The office. Bayview. Whatever that means. Okay. Fun sounds. Office computers. And not able to turn them back on. Credits. Given writing as the narrator. Hmm. Hmm. So this was remade in 2018. Oh, it was this phone. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, so where do I go from here? Or am I going in a circle? Okay, I feel like I just went in a low-key circle. No, that's actually crazy though that that was the phone. I had a feeling it was that phone. Oh, that's the exit. Or is this the exit? How did I get over there?
Nothing there? Shoot. Well, try the other one then. And finally, he pushed the number. Stanley walked over the bridge. Then he pushed the number 8.
Okay, I'm going to thank for the rose. Yeah, my computer is definitely hot. I'm gonna go towards the end for this. I have a feeling it's still gonna restart me though.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be...
Dang. Wait, hold up, hold up. Okay. Does something happen if I turn off the PlayStation? You gotta let me know now. I'll turn this game off and restart. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. That would be super crazy. I need chat to help me out. I don't. Oh, you played it on Steam. I don't want to look this up. I don't want to look it up. To be honest, I never heard of PlayStation. Okay, it's definitely different then. Definitely different. Hmm. Should I turn it off and then start it back up? It's gonna take me a good second, but should I try it out? No. I got one no. I don't think it's gonna do anything, to be honest. I really don't. I don't know if there's a way to detect that. I feel like if it, yeah, dang, I can't talk. I feel like if it was on Steam, they probably would have told you to close out the application. Okay.
Walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Damn. I'm gonna try that. Oh, I want to try that one day though. This is different. Okay. Can I type on anything?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I remember I could turn that off. I don't know what it's going to do. I can turn that one off. I can turn... Can I turn this one off? I gotta get close to it. Input received. Oh, there we go. Okay, I guess that's all I can do. Okay. How'd I get up here? I got up. There we go. Okay, I don't think there's anything I can do with that computer. Oh, y'all are getting tired of hearing me. Well, you know, this is just about as efficient as somebody pulling up in the van, telling me to get inside because there's candy. And this might actually work. I'm going in. I'm going in.
Oh,
I'm going in. Yep, new content.
Content? What does that mean, new content?
What does it mean? It means content.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
This is not in the game in
this sounds
2013.
delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
All right, let's see.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Is it going to go down, up, or what's going to happen with this elevator?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or up? Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Give me the content. It's crazy. All right.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle?
Jumping jacks? I'm over here doing jumping jacks. But, yeah. I couldn't jump until now. Like, oh. Oh, wow. So, what's the point of the jump circle if I only get like 36 jump? That's crazy. That was funny.
That it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fanbase rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
Goodness gracious, another
frills,
reset.
No gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Yeah. Oh, okay. This is new. New content. Actual new content. Okay. Yeah. I'm over here tapping everything, seemed like.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Alright, you know, I'll go into the vent. I don't know what you got to show me, but I'll go into the vent. Coffee hut.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Okay, this looks like new content. Okay.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port?
Oh,
Remember
dang.
back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Don't play for 5 years. God dang. Can I sit on these? No, I can't.
Je suis dans la memory zone.
Can't go to this?
Sur la pluie de
Oh,
l'eau.
I can't go to the piano.
Et je n'attends plus que toi, mon amour.
Aww.
C'est là, dans la memory zone, où je me remémore les jours où je t'ai rencontré, mon amour. Mais ici, c'est aussi.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Yeah, when I watched this on YouTube way long ago, I never saw this part. This is definitely new. This is 100% new. What's this? Memory zone maintenance. This is actually like, interesting enough for me. I'm just exploring all of it. I'm not talking much. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just seeing what's going to happen.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation, boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
How do I even... How do I even go in here? Am I able to move anything? Oh, no, I can't jump. Oh, okay, you've seen all this. I haven't seen all of this. Okay. How do I go in that room? Okay, seriously, how do I... But no, okay, for real. How do I get in that room? I don't... How am I gonna... Bruh. There's like no... Do I go back?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
Okay, well, going back I go. I guess I can't enter that room yet. Oh, ooh, okay. I see.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
A whole bunch of reviews.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
I go slow in these cases because I'm trying to soak the environment in, and I'm also just looking at, I don't know, I'm a very visual person, so I'm always just looking around and seeing how everything looks. Plus, it kind of makes it feel like more like a playthrough, like a let's play as well. Like you guys can see all in the environment and see how it's created, and you can feel immersed. Is this like the other review? I think this is like the other... I gotta go down here. I can't go back up. Nope, can't go back up.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Alright. Okay, this is gonna be funny. How many times should I push skip on this guy?
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll
Oh.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice
I bet you there's an achievement for
made,
sitting
you
through
bring
all
that
of
choice
this.
into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erect? Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with pressurized gas altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
I'm sorry.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45...
Imagine if I sat there for 30 and 45 minutes. Listen, did he wasn't kidding about that dictionary thing. That's hours of new content. What? He wasn't kidding. That's got to be an achievement. It's got to be a trophy.
5 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know.
Now,
it's
boy, you need a
shocking, but at any
podcast.
rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Shit. 12 hours. Nah, that can't be it. That can't be it.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child. Wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this?
I don't think he's going to stop talking.
I'm stuck in a room. Oh, Stanley, you're back.
Oh, shit.
You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year.
Have
you
year?
ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich,
How long has it been? How long has it been? He's not talking. How long has it been this time? How long has it been this time? He's actually not talking. He's actually not talking. Okay. Okay.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us.
Does he even notice
It
I'm
wasn't
back?
enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs
I don't think he
down
notices
review
I'm
and
back.
make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine.
Okay, he's not talking again. Okay.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Okay, he's gonna keep saying that.
Never the end is never.
Am I actually stuck in here with this button? Oh. Okay. That's different. When am I gonna get a way out? I need out. I need out. Okay, okay, okay. This is starting to feel like that one, it's starting to feel like Portal. I know they're all made on, like, I forgot what engine it was, but, like, I know they're similar games, but this is starting to feel like Portal. Oh, wow. That's pretty green. Where's my way out? Where is my way out? I don't like the sound of that. I really don't like the sound of that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's just push this button again. Okay. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Oh! Oh! A way out! Okay. I can't push it no more. Okay. That, you know, that last one, you know, I wasn't really liking it, you know, that sounded pretty scary. Oh. What in the Assassin's Creed do we got going on here? Dune. You know, I've never seen Dune. I need to watch it. Oh. Where to now? Don't let it be the beginning. You know what? That actually pisses me off. That actually pisses me. Okay, hold up.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh my.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed
The end is never the. He said that, but oh my god. I thought we was getting somewhere. Like I thought we was getting.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he
Not
couldn't
to an
find a
end,
trace
but
of his co-workers.
To an interesting direction. God dang. Hold up. Okay, you know what? $2. I kind of want to end it off here because I definitely got to get ready soon, or at least try to make me some breakfast. I hope it says you want to see a cool one. I don't know. I've explored many other options. You do? You want to see a fast one? I'm counting. I want to. I do. I do want to. I'm not gonna say I don't want to. I do want to keep going. Do I technically? Do I want to see a fast one? I kind of want to keep going. Okay, you know what? I'm giving in. I'm giving in. Because this is also intriguing me because I feel like every time I restart, I can click this and possibly get something else. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna do it faster. I'm just gonna do it faster. I'm just gonna do this really fast. Oh no. No. Oh man. That's a long one. Okay, there we go.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the
know
door on
what?
his left.
Thank you for saying that.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
I'm skipping through. I'm skipping through. You should have kept the skip button. You should have kept the skip button. I'm going downstairs this time. I know how this ends, but I'm not walking upstairs. I don't know how this ends. I would hope that it ends different, but
he considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post.
It's not going to end
work
any
hours.
differently.
He
Stop.
might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that
Okay,
risk?
wait. I
All
probably
because
read
he
that
believed
later than
everyone
when you
had
sent
vanished.
it.
His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred.
I probably
to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously
You read
out
it
of
now. I can
existence
see
in
you
a
can't go
single
back.
moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange
That's
observations.
definitely my fault.
For example, why couldn't he see his feet?
This one's a little bit long.
Why did doors
This is
close
gonna like be
automatically
in a little.
behind him wherever he went? And for that matter,
Yeah, this
these
one's
rooms
just.
were
I
starting
already
to
know how
look
this
pretty
one
familiar.
ends
Were they simply
because it goes
repeating?
in the same
No,
way.
Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the
Unless you just keep
conclusion
going,
that
you
it
keep
had been on
going.
the
I don't
tip
know.
of his
I stopped.
tongue. He
I kind of
just
stopped and let
hadn't
it
found the
play out
words
when
for
I
it.
did it.
I'm dreaming, he yelled.
If it goes in the
This
same
is
way,
all
then
a dream.
I'll end off here. I'll end
What
off here
relief
once this
Stanley
ends.
felt to have finally found an answer.
I
an
definitely
explanation.
gotta.
His co-workers weren't actually gone.
Definitely
He wasn't
gotta.
going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he
Eat
thought to
ready.
himself, I suppose I'll wake
Really
up
just
soon.
making some breakfast,
I'll have
too,
to
'cause
go back
I'm
to my
hungry, I'm not
boring
gonna lie.
real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man.
I've seen this one before, though.
This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see it. The end is never the end. The end is never the end. The end is never the end. I'm gonna sound like that one dude monologuing about the end is never the end, saying the end is never the end. About the end is never the end. But yeah, the end is never the end. I definitely understand that the end is never the end. Okay. Okay, close. All right. I love this game, but we gotta pick it off. I want to say close the door. Huh? Hold up. You can close the door? What?
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
This is the one he was talking about. Oh, wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. Take it easy. Yeah, I hope you take it easy too. I don't know. I'm gonna try to pick back up tomorrow morning again. I hope it's gonna save my progress because I want to go back to that new content room. If there's even more content, possibly. I don't know. I feel like there's more possibilities that I haven't gotten yet. I'm not sure. It will either way. Okay, I can do that. I can do that. But all right, y'all. Follow, subscribe over on YouTube because I'm definitely gonna post this on YouTube. Yeah, I will see you guys later. D-Flight out.